Hi darlings, thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. And today I am journaling day 3 in the By the Well for God handcrafted devotional. I am starting off here in my my interleaved Bible. And I am using the tried and true, my favorite technique with my favorite Distress Oxide inks. And what I'm going to do is the smooshing method. So you've seen me do this on my page many times before. I just smush the ink pad of the distress ink onto some packaging, spritz some water on it, and then add that color throughout, just smooshing it onto the page. I did 2 layers of that, and now I'm going to work on adding some border to this page. I love the stitch work that is on all of the elements or most of the elements in this kit, but I do not sew. So I loved this Stitch with Jesus stamp set. It was a coordinating add-on that you could have picked up in the shop. And I love it because it has all of these different types of stitching that you can use. And for people like me that don't sew, this is a game changer. So I'm adding stitching all the way around as a border to my page. I absolutely love that this stamp also comes with different types of stitching, and even though I don't know the names to it, I love that I can add some stitching to my page and make it look like I sewed onto it. So here in the devotional on day 3, Lori talks to us about being made in his image, in the image of God. And I am journaling here in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, where God is saying, let us make man in our image and after our likeness. And it is a plural, us and our, because it's God Trinity speaking to himself, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, speaking about going into the creation of man. And we were made into the complete image and likeness of God. And I love that Lori states that it's quite obvious that when God was making us in his image, that it wasn't just to reflect his physical likeness, but also to reflect something even deeper than that. We go in to speak of, the appearance of Jesus, which is found in Isaiah 53, verses 2 and 3. But then we also take a look at what God's image is referring to more of an inward appearance and not just an outward appearance. To quote her words, it says, clearly to be made in God's image is not just about our outward appearance, but is all about our inward appearance. So in essence, it's all about how we are appearing from the inside, then going out, if that makes sense. Here on the page, you see me, I'm using some of the die cuts and different elements from the kit. I put them together and I kind of wanted to do a diagonal sweep going from the top left of the page to the bottom right. And I am just looking at elements and seeing what works. I know I want to do some hidden journaling, kind of a flip book here. So I end up using one of the cards that was part of the goodies, the library cards. And then I'm going to use one of these journaling cards that came with the ephemera. And then I'm going to create a flip here. I left all of this process here so you can see that pages don't automatically come together quickly. It's a lot of fussing and a lot of seeing what works. So here, after I have a general idea of how I want my page to come out like, I now start to commit. So what I'm going to do is I am going to grab some glue and I am going to start working on committing to these pages. I realize that this flashcard is a little overwhelming towards the top. So to add that in, I kind of cut that down. Now I'm going to add some faux stitching with a journaling pen all the way around this journaling card. And this is just going to tie it in together with all the other stitch pieces on my page. So now that that is done, now I can start committing. So I start gluing down. I'm using this Tom Tombow multi-liquid purpose glue, I believe it's fully called, and it works great for elements like this. And I like that it gives me some wiggle room to move it and shift it into place. So on this journaling card that's going to go on the inside of my flip up portion of this page, I did write out that verse from Lori on that devotional, quote, about God's image being more about the inward appearance and not the outward appearance. And then on the left-hand side of that flip up, I wrote this other quote that I pulled from day 3. It is this eternal part of us that reflects the image of our Creator. And I thought that was beautiful. I added it to the left-hand side. And now over on my right-hand side of the page, I'm going to block out my verse. And to tie in the florals, I'm going to add a floral sticker from the clear stickers that came with the kit. So now all of my pieces are adhered down and I have committed to the look of my page, and I love how it turned out. I add that little ByTheWell4God truck to my flip up, and now I'm gonna add some texture. So I got this texture piece. It always comes with the kit. You get a little texture piece that you can play around with, and using my Fabri-Tac glue, I'm going to create a little ruffle at the bottom part of my flip up, and I love how that turned out. I love that ByTheWell4God always adds a fun texture piece for us to play with in our creative journaling. So adding just a little bit more Fabri-Tac glue and holding it down, and I love how that turned out. Now I'm gonna add some tabs. So using my tab punch and the coordinating pattern paper, I grab some of that floral paper, I make some tabs, I'll add the rest to my stash. And now I'm gonna add that to the top of my page here. I'm gonna use that same Fabri-Tac glue because it's what I had on hand. And then I'll add some of these zippers, and that's gonna hold it down just like as washi strips at the top of my page. And I use this peach color. It's a little darker than the other elements on my page, but I still love how it turns out. And that wraps up my page. I'm gonna give you a last look at my page and how that turned out. If you're new here, I hope you consider subscribing. Hit that like button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Let me know below if you are a sewer, if you love stitching. If you're not, and I definitely encourage you to pick up this stamp set. It's super cute. I will be linking everything below. Thank you for joining me each and every video, darlings. Bye.